The story begins at a film company where our girl named Fang Yan arrives with her friends to audition as a voice actor. Fang Yan is an incredibly talented and hardworking voice artist who specializes in dubbing for overseas movies and cartoon characters. Her friends wish her luck, and she steps in for the first round of her audition. She performs so well that even the judges are impressed and inform her that she has been selected for the next round. Overjoyed, Fang Yan practically bursts with happiness and shares the news with her friends, who cheer her on. Meanwhile, the renowned producer Shi Meng arrives at the studio to sign a contract. Shi Meng, a legendary figure in the film industry, is known for delivering only blockbuster hits as none of his movies have ever flopped. As it turns out, Shi Meng owns the very studio where Fang Yan is auditioning, and one of the judges sends him a clip of her performance. Intrigued by her voice, Shi Meng decides to witness her live audition. On the other side, Fang Yan is fully prepared for the next round. However, one of the studio employees, a senior who is both intimidated by Fang Yan's talent and aware of her mental health issues, mischievously plays a horror scene instead of the actual audition clip. As soon as Fang Yan sees the scary scene, she is petrified, triggering flashbacks of a traumatic childhood incident. Overwhelmed by fear, she falls into a sleep mode and faints on the spot, hitting the floor. The room erupts in confusion as no one understands what just happened, but the senior is secretly pleased with her sabotage. Fang Yan's friends rush to help her. And here's the twist. Fang Yan has a peculiar, strange mental condition. Whenever she is scared or reminded of her traumatic past, she suddenly falls asleep, almost like a reset button being pressed. Not just that she sleepwalks too, and it takes her 12 hours to regain consciousness. Her friends quickly decide to take her home. As they step out of the studio, one friend, Zhu Yao, goes to fetch the car, while the other, Xiang Wei Lin, runs to grab an umbrella since it started raining. Meanwhile, Fang Yan stands there, drenched and unconscious in the rain. Shi Meng has also come to the studio holding an umbrella. He notices her and simply gives her one glance and walks off. After he leaves, Fang Yan's friends finally take her home. Later, Fang Yan finds herself back at her therapist's office, exhausted and frustrated with her life. She had tried everything from medication to meditation, you name it, but nothing seemed to cure her bizarre condition. And so, her struggle continues. Fang Yan's therapist informs her that research suggests her condition can only be cured by someone who can assure her safety and take care of her. With this groundbreaking insight, the therapist casually advises her to just get married. Fang Yan is understandably left speechless and lost in thought. Another story unfolds on a completely different stage. A young man named Shi Yi is performing. The name does ring a bell, right? Shi Yi is a supremely talented actor and singer with a massive fan following. So massive that his fans are willing to do just about anything for him. Oh, and guess who's one of his die-hard fans? Fang Yan, of course. Well, almost everyone claps. One man, sitting stone-faced in the audience, doesn't even bother to lift his hands. That man is none other than Shi Meng, Shi Yi's older brother. But here's the catch, they don't get along at all. For reasons unknown, the brothers live completely separate lives and don't even talk to each other. During the event, Shi Meng is called on stage to announce his next film. This movie had everyone buzzing, especially since it was rumored to feature a top-tier actor guaranteed to break box office records. But then, drama strikes. The actor takes the stage, and to everyone's shock, announces that he won't be part of the movie. And his excuse was a health issue. The audience gasps in disbelief, but Shi Meng, he was calm and started walking toward the stage to address the crowd. On his way, the ailing actor smirks at Shi Meng and whispers, "I'll ruin your movie's ratings. You should have just agreed to my terms." Ignoring him, Shi Meng takes the stage, but before he can utter a word, chaos erupts. A furious fan storms onto the stage and splashes water on Shi Meng's face, screaming that she'll never watch the movie because Shi Meng kicked her favorite actor out. The fan's tirade doesn't stop there, and she reveals that the real reason the actor left wasn't health-related at all, but his outrageous demands just double payment, a personal Ying Jun, a private makeup artist, a luxury van, and even a personal chef. What's wrong with that? The crowd collectively gasps, realizing the truth behind the actor's exit. Shi Meng, however, remains stoic, wiping his face and preparing to salvage the situation. The guards escort the enraged fan out of the venue, and Shi Meng, unbothered, calmly addresses the audience. He declares that he will never let his movie flop, no matter the circumstances, and refuses to grant special favors to anyone just because they're famous. He promises to make his film with hard work and fairness. The crowd is impressed and begins applauding Meng for his principles, leaving the actor whose tantrum caused the drama completely embarrassed. To add insult to injury, the actor's own fan had publicly exposed his unreasonable demands. Meanwhile, Shi Yi, who had been observing the entire fiasco, smirks and remarks, "As always, my drama king brother somehow manages to play the cool guy in front of everyone." Back in his dressing room, Meng is in a surprisingly good mood. His assistant, Ying Jun, couldn't help but comment, "Boss, that was brilliant. Now no company will hire that arrogant actor unless he learns some humility. But maybe that girl threw just a bit too much water." Here's the kicker: that girl who splashed water on Meng. Turns out, she was hired by Meng himself to expose the actor's lies. Because if Meng had said it himself, no one would have believed him. Talk about playing 4D chess. Unfortunately, Meng's coat was soaked in the process, so his Ying Jun fetched a new one. But it's identical to the style worn by Shi Yi, Meng's brother. Meng immediately suspects this was orchestrated by his mother, who always tries to match the two brothers despite their estranged relationship. Annoyed, Meng begrudgingly changes coats. To make matters worse, Ying Jun casually suggests that Meng should cast Chi Yi in his movie, given how talented he is as both an actor and a singer. Meng's piercing glare shuts the Ying Jun up, making him realize he's said far too much. Outside, Shi Yi is surrounded by fans who have come to meet him, including Fang Yan and her friend Zhu Yao. At one point, Zhu Yao excuses herself to use the washroom, leaving Fang Yan alone. Just as fate would have it, Shi Yi steps outside, and the sight of him sends the fans into a frenzy. As the crowd screams and rushes toward him, the chaos is too much for Fang Yan. Triggered by the overwhelming situation, she slips into her infamous sleep mode. But this time, her sleepwalking kicks in, and she begins walking in an extremely bizarre manner, leaving everyone around her confused. Meanwhile, Meng and his Ying Jun also come downstairs and spot Fang Yan walking oddly. Meng can't help but stop and wonder what on earth is going on. Fang Yan was about to fall when Meng instinctively caught her. As he held her, a flicker of recognition crossed his mind. This was the same girl he'd seen outside his office that day, in the exact same sleepwalking state. Meng tried to push her away gently, but Fang Yan, feeling inexplicably safe in his arms, clung to him like a koala hugging its favorite tree. Later in her cafe, Fang Yan sat lost in thought while Wei Lin excitedly spoke to her doctor. "This is the first time Fang Yan has snapped out of her sleep trance in just 10 minutes, he exclaimed. After hanging up with the doctor, he couldn't resist teasing her. "Looks like you finally found the one who can treat you. Better hold on to that guy before he escapes." But there was a slight problem. Fang Yan hadn't seen the guy's face. She only remembered the warm embrace and a vague sense of safety. Meanwhile, Meng was deep in thought. He muttered to Ying Jun that he had seen that girl somewhere before, but Ying Jun, rolling his eyes, suggested that Meng should just let it go. Ying Jun then shifted the conversation to something more interesting, telling Meng that Yi had created a secret Weibo account and was following only one account named in Jiang. This account belonged to a girl who posted about destiny and love. Curious about Yi's obsession, Meng instructed Ying Jun to gather more information about Injiang and left, still thinking about the mysterious girl. On the other hand, Fang Yan and her friends were trying to figure out who the man from the cafe was. At that moment, Zhuo Yao saw a news article featuring Yi wearing the same coat. Here comes the misunderstanding. She gasped in realization and said that it was Yi who had snapped Fang Yan out of her sleep mode. The three of them were stunned, with Fang Yan being the most flustered. She stammered, denying it, but inside she couldn't help but feel a surge of happiness. Zhuo Yao and Wei Lin teased her relentlessly, suggesting that her idol might just end up being her husband. Zhuo Yao even handed her a cheeky note, wishing her the best and telling her to think carefully. The two then left, leaving Fang Yan to process the whirlwind of emotions. Curious when Fang Yan opened the note and was shocked to find it read, "How to sleep with Yi." Completely scandalized, she muttered to herself, wondering if her friends had lost their minds. Back home, Fang Yan turned to her secret Weibo account, where she often wrote poems about destiny and love under the username in Jiang. Yes, it is her, the mysterious girl that both the brothers are looking for. She believed in the power of true love and luck, and writing helped her express her thoughts. Little did she know, Yi was struggling with writer's block for his new song. His assistant noticed his frustration, but Yi waved it off, saying he'd manage. Just then, A notification popped up as Jiang had posted a new poem. Yi, who had been following her account for inspiration, immediately clicked on it, listening intently as he felt the words spark ideas for his music. Meng was also curious about why Yi was so obsessed with this account and decided to follow it as well. He found himself driving near Fang Yan's house while listening to the latest poem from Jiang. As Fang Yan's poem ended, the rain started pouring outside. Seeing Meng standing there without an umbrella, she rushed out on her own and held it over him. Meng instantly recognized her, but this time, something about her seemed different. There was an inexplicable sense of familiarity and warmth he felt in her presence. Fang Yan smiled and said, "I have a coffee and music shop nearby. You can wait there until the rain stops." Meng, intrigued, agreed and followed her to the cozy cafe. Inside, he looked around, observing the little trinkets and decorations that reflected her personality, while Fang Yan busied herself with cleaning and rummaging through albums on a high shelf. Meng couldn't help but steal glances at her, captivated by her casual charm. Suddenly, one of the albums she was trying to pull out slipped and was about to fall. Meng darted forward and caught it just in time. Their close proximity created a slightly awkward moment, prompting Fang Yan to break the silence by asking what kind of music Meng liked. Meng responded with a shrug, saying that he was fine with anything. Fang Yan began enthusiastically listing songs by her favorite singer, Yi, and showered the artist with endless praise. Meng, clearly unimpressed, interrupted her, suggesting that they talk about something other than Yi's songs. In response, Fang Yan took out an album titled Destiny and handed it to Meng, explaining that it was her favorite. She added that she believed in destiny, and the album's theme resonated deeply with her. Meng, however, raised an eyebrow in skepticism, remarking that destiny was merely a concept used in movies and wasn't real. Fang Yan frowned at his lack of belief and was determined to make her point. She pulled him toward the shop's window. She proposed a game, stating that she would count the next 10 people who walked by. And if even one of them is a couple, Meng would have to admit that destiny existed. She added that if she lost, she would give him the Destiny album for free. Without waiting for Meng's agreement, she began counting the passers-by. 9 people went by, none of whom were part of a couple. As her confidence waned, Fang Yan sighed, visibly disheartened. Just as the 10th person approached, Meng suddenly placed his hand over her eyes, preventing her from seeing. So romantic. Meng kept his hand there until a couple finally walked by. He then removed his hand and gestured toward the couple with a triumphant expression. Fang Yan's eyes lit up with joy as she handed him the Destiny album, her smile brightening. She told him that, thanks to him, her belief in destiny had grown even stronger. Meng accepted the album, unable to suppress a slight smile as he observed her happiness, wondering why it felt so infectious. As Fang Yan went to get wrapping paper to package the album, she accidentally bumped into Meng, causing his keys to fall to the floor. Meng bent down to pick them up and tuck them back into his pocket, but his duck-shaped keychain slipped off without him noticing. After Fang Yan left to fetch the wrapping paper, Meng discreetly paid for the album. While doing so, he noticed a note lying on the counter. Upon reading the words "How to Sleep with Yi," Meng grew furious, assuming Fang Yan was yet another person obsessed with his brother. He left the cafe in anger without waiting for Fang Yan to return. When Fang Yan came back and found Meng missing, she was puzzled. At home, Meng handed the Destiny album to Yi, sarcastically suggesting it might help him with his songwriting struggles. Yi, intrigued, listened to the album and admitted he liked it. Meng added that Yi could use it for inspiration but should remember who had brought it to him. Yi dismissed Meng's concern, insisting he didn't need any help. However, Meng turned up the volume on the recording of Fang Yan's poem, which had been posted on her and Jiang account. The familiar poem caught Yi's attention and he turned to Meng, clearly annoyed. Yi accused his brother of spying on him. Meng, unfazed, proposed a deal. He offered to arrange a meeting with the Jiang girl if Yi agreed to star in his movie. Meng teased that Yi could use the meeting for inspiration or even pursue a relationship with her, and he doesn't care at all. Yi refused, stating that he didn't need Meng's assistance. Meng, however, revealed that if Yi declined the movie, meeting the Jiang girl would require an appointment since she was about to start working for Meng's company. Frustrated, Yi warned Meng not to create any drama during their mother's upcoming birthday celebration. At the cafe, Fang Yan was cleaning up when she noticed the duck keychain again. She decided to keep it in case she could return it to its owner. Shortly afterward, Zuo Yao and Wei Lin arrived, bursting with excitement. They informed Fang Yan that Yi had been confirmed as the lead actor in Meng's new movie. They further revealed that Fang Yan had been selected as a voice actor for the same project. Fang Yan was shocked by the news, while Zhuo Yao expressed her delight that Fang Yan would now get to spend time with Yi. Wei Lin chimed in, agreeing that this opportunity might help Fang Yan with her sleep condition. Though overwhelmed, Fang Yan couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and nerves at the unexpected turn of events. Wei Lin mentioned that he had spoken to a friend and arranged a meeting between Meng and the executive director of the movie, ensuring that the path was now completely clear. Meanwhile, Meng realized that the duck from his keyring was missing. It upset him deeply because the keyring had been a gift from his father to both brothers. The next day, Zhuo Yao and Fang Yan arrived at the office. Fang Yan, feeling extremely nervous, went to the washroom to calm herself, leaving Zhuo Yao waiting outside. While waiting, Zhuo Yao heard a familiar voice behind her. When she turned around, she saw her ex-boyfriend, Ying Jun, bragging to his friends about their past relationship. He spoke in a way that belittled Zhuo Yao, painting her as someone who had begged for his love. Hearing such lies, Zhuo Yao calmly returned to his seat, causing Ying Jun to freeze in shock upon seeing her. Without missing a beat, Zhuo Yao remarked that it was fortunate to meet him there, because she had assumed he was still crying in a corner somewhere, just as he had done when she left him. She walked away, but Ying Jun followed, accusing her of humiliating him in front of his friends. Zhuo Yao turned to him and firmly stated that this time she let him off, but if he spread any false rumors about her again, she wouldn't hesitate to report him to the police. She reminded him that she was the one who ended their relationship. Hearing this, Ying Jun's colleagues began laughing at him, making him feel utterly humiliated. Embarrassed, he quickly fled the scene. Later, Fang Yan and Zhuo Yao met with the director, who informed them that Fang Yan had a strong chance of being selected, but would need to audition before the movie's executive producer. The executive producer arrived, and it was none other than Ying Jun. Seeing Zhuo Yao, Ying Jun grew visibly nervous and refused to conduct the audition, attempting to explain this to the director. As the director tried to reason with him, Meng entered the room. After assessing the situation and spotting Fang Yan, Meng declared that he would take over the audition himself. Fang Yan was overjoyed to see Meng, but noticed he still seemed upset, as the memory of the note he had read at the cafe lingered in his mind. Meng asked Fang Yan why she wanted to take the role. Fang Yan replied passionately, impressing Meng, but the situation quickly escalated when Zhuo Yao interjected, saying Fang Yan wanted to work there, because Yi was also part of the movie. Fang Yan was blushing, and she agreed with Zhuo Yao, which irritated Meng. He sarcastically remarked that they weren't at a fan meeting and told them to stop talking nonsense. Fang Yan, hurt by his words, defended herself, stating that even a fan could be a good artist. The argument turned heated and Meng, annoyed, declared that he would not select Fang Yan. Fang Yan, equally furious, retorted that she also doesn't care about being chosen because she wouldn't work with someone who insulted her idol. She even showed him his lost duck keychain, stating she would never return it to someone as mean as him. Meng, surprised and delighted to see the duck, was about to respond, but Fang Yan and Zhuo Yao stormed out angrily. Later, Ying Jun managed to find the address of Injiang and nervously arrived at Fang Yan's house. When he knocked, Zhuo Yao answered the door, which confused him. He mistakenly assumed Zhuo Yao was in Jiang and panicked. Meanwhile, Meng also learned about the address and visited Fang Yan's house with a contract in hand. Upon entering, he noticed the duck keychain carefully placed in a fishbowl. Meng tried to convince Fang Yan to sign the contract. However, Fang Yan was still offended by Meng's earlier comments about Yi, and she outright refused. Zhuo Yao took Fang Yan aside and reasoned with her, saying it wasn't the time to let ego or her admiration for Yi cloud her decisions. Reluctantly, Fang Yan agreed to work with Meng, but made it clear that she had one condition. True to her word, Fang Yan's condition brought everyone to the studio. The atmosphere was tense as they prepared to see how the situation would unfold. Fang Yan says that she will show a situation on screen, and Meng and Ying Jun will have to act it out exactly as shown, and only then will she sign the contract. Fang Yan and Zhuo Yao were creating very weird situations, but Meng Yan was doing all the tasks. Meng skillfully avoided all the challenges, and at the end, Fang Yan says that now Meng will complete all the tasks. As soon as they see it on the screen, Fang Yan is shocked, and Meng begins to approach her. Because on the screen it was written French kiss, Meng steps closer and pins her against the wall. Meng takes out a lollipop from his mouth, and seeing that, Fang Yan freezes completely. Meng leans in and says, "Now, sign the contract." After this, Fang Yan thinks, "This dare seems like it's falling on me." Afterward, both sign the contract, but Fang Yan then sets a condition that she wants to meet Yi today, and only then will she sign the contract. Ying Jun says that she's crossing too many boundaries, but Meng agrees to it. That same day, Meng's mom's birthday party was happening, and she was enjoying it with all her friends whose children were married. Hearing this, Meng's mom feels sad because both her sons are far from marriage. Just then, Yi arrives and greets everyone, and Meng's mom starts praising him extravagantly, saying her son is so handsome that he can't even decide who to choose. Hearing this, Yi feels a bit awkward. At that moment, Meng takes Fang Yan to meet Yi to his house. When Fang Yan finds out that today is his mom's birthday, she is surprised. She then starts leaving and says she will meet Yi another time because she doesn't have a gift for his mom. Hearing this, Meng grabs her and takes her inside to meet his mom. Fang Yan tries to sneak out again, but Meng stands her in front of his mom and says she's the voice artist for their movie. She wishes her a happy birthday, and Meng gives her a gift in Fang Yan's hand to give to his mom. Fang Yan hands it to his mom, who becomes very happy because it was her favorite designer scarf. Meng's mom sits down with Fang Yan and starts interrogating her like a detective, trying to dig out every little detail about her family, almost as if she's planning their wedding already. At this point, Meng quickly whisks Fang Yan away to save her from the third degree. After they leave, Meng's mom turns to Ying Jun and drops the ultimate question. "What's going on between Meng and that girl? He's never brought a girl home before." Ying Jun tries to explain that it's nothing like that, but Meng's mom isn't buying it. She tells him, as his childhood friend, it's now his job to guide Meng toward love, essentially making him Cupid with a side of unsolicited advice. Meanwhile, Meng saw Yi upstairs and nudged Fang Yan, urging her to go and talk to him. However, when Fang Yan saw Yi, she became so nervous that she panicked, exclaiming that she needed some fresh air, and bolted off. Yi, on the other hand, was in his own world, listening to Jiang's poem, which he found incredibly soothing. Stepping outside, he saw someone reciting the same poem, and to his surprise, it was Fang Yan. When she turned around and saw Yi, she froze in shock. Yi, on the other hand, was just as stunned, but his reaction was more along the lines of finally found her. To confirm his suspicion, he quickly sent her a message, and when her phone dinged, his doubts were cleared. A triumphant smile spread across Yi's face, while Fang Yan became even more flustered. Eventually, Fang Yan gathered her courage and told Yi that she was his big fan. She didn't stop there, and she also shared her bizarre medical condition, explaining that she sleepwalked whenever she got scared. She asked Yi for his help with this, but when Yi looked at her medical reports, he was utterly clueless. At that moment, Meng spotted them chatting and he smirked knowingly and left them to it. Confused, he asked Fang Yan what exactly she wanted from him. Fang Yan, unable to hold back, directly admitted that she wanted to spend as much time as possible with him to overcome her condition. Yi, however, jumped to the conclusion that she was just another crazy fan and casually offered, "If you want an autograph, I'll give it to you," before walking off. Fang Yan tried to stop him, but it was no use. Frustrated, she stormed off angrily, only to bump into Meng, who joked, "So, you finally met Ye?" She glared at him and walked away in a huff. Meng, still amused, leaves, but not before his mom notices everything. She signals to Ying Jun that they now need to bond these two lovebirds. Back home, Fang Yan vents to Zhu Yao about how Yi mistook her for a psycho fan. Zhu Yao vows to fix it. The next day, she meets Ying Jun and strikes a deal. If he helps, she'll stop making fun of him in front of his friends. Ying Jun hesitantly asks what exactly he has to do. Zhu Yao explains that Fang Yan likes Yi and wants to get closer to him, so Ying Jun needs to play wingman. Ying Jun was left utterly dumbfounded. On one side, Meng's mom wanted Meng and Fang Yan to get closer, while on the other side, Fang Yan clearly had her eyes on Yi. And let's not forget Zhu Yao's deal hanging over his head. After doing some mental math like a mastermind strategist, he concluded, if he used Yi as a pawn to bring Meng and Fang Yan together, his mom would be thrilled, and Zhu Yao would think he was helping her. Win-win. So, he told Zhu Yao that Yi's mom was looking for a caretaker for him, and that he could recommend Fang Yan for the job. Zhu Yao, delighted by the brilliant idea, eagerly agreed. The next day, Yi's mom, she, met Fang Yan and explained that her son had bipolar disorder. She said that sometimes he got so angry that his brain stopped working. She mentioned that she had interviewed countless candidates, but none of them seemed suitable. She then asked what made Fang Yan think she could handle him. Fang Yan explained that people like him needed to avoid overworking and eat healthy meals. Impressed by her quick response and what she called medical expertise, she hired her immediately. She also instructed Ying Jun to fetch the contract, which Fang Yan signed without reading a word, making a rookie mistake. Meanwhile, Ying Jun was grinning from ear to ear as he knew that the caretaker job wasn't for Yi but for Meng. So, Fang Yan had officially become Meng's caretaker. The following day, Fang Yan arrived at Meng's apartment with her friends and was stunned by how massive and luxurious it was. She thought to herself that this was how the other half lived. Despite her awe, she was still nervous that Yi might think she was stalking him. Zhuo Yao reassured her, telling her that this was just her job and to not overthink it. Zhuo Yao then left her there. Fang Yan got to work, cleaning the apartment like a pro. While exploring, she came across a locked room but wisely decided not to poke around. Instead, she focused on cleaning the rest of the place until it sparkled. Eventually, she entered what she assumed was Yi's room and couldn't help but feel giddy about being there. She noticed a decorative glass ball on the nightstand and picked it up, but the ball slipped out of her hand and rolled behind the nightstand. At the same time, Meng returned home. Seeing his apartment so spotless, he thought, wow, Mom has really outdone herself this time. As he entered his room, Fang Yan, still fishing for the glass ball, saw him from behind and immediately panicked. Oh no, he's caught me in his bedroom, she thought. Her imagination went into overdrive. Now he'll definitely think I'm a total stalker and a perverted one at that. She tried to sneak out like a ninja, but Meng caught her in the act. Terrified, she flopped onto the floor, playing dead as her last-ditch escape plan. Meng, thoroughly confused, confronted her. When she finally stood up and realized it wasn't Yi but Meng, her jaw hit the floor. Meanwhile, Meng was equally shocked. What the hell is this girl doing in my bedroom? Meng immediately called his mom, sounding more dramatic than a soap opera protagonist. Get this girl's contract terminated right now. You know I like living alone. But his mom, who was clearly enjoying her matchmaking mission, replied, she's the perfect caretaker for you. When Meng gave her a final warning, she pulled out the ultimate weapon, his embarrassing childhood photo. If you try to get rid of her, I'll post these on social media and let everyone see how chubby you were as a kid, she threatened. Meng, utterly defeated, grumbled but agreed. Learning this situation, Fang Yan, utterly frazzled, vented everything to Zhu Yao, who was just as shocked. But when Zhu Yao read the contract, her jaw hit the floor. Not only was Fang Yan officially Meng's caretaker, but there was also a clause stating that if she quit within 2 months, she'd owe a whopping $1 million. Fang Yan felt like fainting. Zhu Yao told her there was no other option. It's just 2 months. Stay put. And who knows? You might even bump into Yi again. When Fang Yan returned to the apartment, Meng was waiting for her with a ridiculously long list of rules. Rule number 1, no loud noises in this house. Rule number 2, break any rule, and you pay me $500 every time, he declared. Fang Yan stared at him, wondering if she'd accidentally signed up for military training. Meanwhile, Zhu Yao went to see Ying Jun, smiling mischievously. Whatever she said or did left Ying Jun in such a state that he couldn't even leave his room. Zhu Yao left with a triumphant grin, while Ying Jun was probably reevaluating all his life choices. The next day at the office, Wei Lin handed Fang Yan a form for a new voice artist audition. Fang Yan was thrilled, and even the director complimented her work. Little did she know, Meng was the one who had told Wei Lin to do it. And seeing her happy made Meng secretly smile like a proud puppet master. Later, Meng's movie's lead actress, Mia, showed up and started throwing herself at him again. Meng, clearly unimpressed, ignored her, but Mia clung to him like Velcro. As the two entered the elevator, Fang Yan saw them together and awkwardly apologized, trying to leave. But Meng pulled her into the elevator and stood close, and really close. To make matters even more confusing, he put his coat around her shoulders and acted like they were a couple. Fang Yan was left blushing, Mia was fuming, and Meng was clearly enjoying the chaos he'd just created. Mia felt extremely jealous upon seeing this, and exited the elevator. Fang Yan also got off on her floor, but before she could leave, Meng pulled his coat off her and walked her away. Fang Yan felt furious, thinking that Meng, being the rich guy he was, had taken advantage of her innocence and used her to make another girl jealous. She resolved not to let him off the hook this time. Same day, Yi visited his doctor, Mr. Kim, who also happened to treat Fang Yan. During the appointment, Yi remembered what Fang Yan had mentioned, and began asking Dr. Kim about sleepwalking disorders. On the other hand, Ying Jun was standing outside Zhu Yao's house, practicing what he wanted to say to her. Just then, Zhu Yao appeared and asked him why he was there. Ying Jun said he wanted to discuss the contract, so she allowed him inside. However, instead of discussing the contract, Ying Jun brought up their past relationship and asked why she had left him without any explanation. Zhu Yao didn't respond and told him to leave. At that moment, a small child came out of the room and asked why Ying Jun was arguing with his mom. Ying Jun was completely shocked and repeatedly asked if Zhu Yao was really the child's mother. Zhu Yao refused to answer and insisted he leave. Ying Jun approached the child named Zhang and compared his face with the child's. Convinced that the boy was his son, Ying Jun kissed him and left the house, determined to find the truth. Before leaving, he secretly took a strand of Chang's hair, planning to do a DNA test to confirm his suspicions. Meanwhile, Fang Yan went to Yi's house and in one breath confessed everything, explaining that she wasn't a stalker. Yi smiled, as Kim had already told him everything. Yi informed Fang Yan that Kim was his friend and had shared the truth about her condition with him. He then asked her if her condition caused her any problems. Fang Yan admitted that she had been dealing with it since childhood and had to be extra cautious. She also mentioned that many people thought she was crazy because of it. Hearing this, Yi felt genuinely bad for her. To cheer her up, he played the piano and sang a song for her which made Fang Yan very happy. It was like a free private concert. After finishing the song, Yi apologized for misunderstanding and told her that he would fulfill 3 of her wishes. Upon hearing this, Fang Yan became extremely happy and expressed her first wish to receive his autograph. Yi asked if she only wanted his autograph, to which Fang Yan affirmed. While Fang Yan waited, Yi signed his photo and handed it to her. Fang Yan was overjoyed and thanked him. Yi then advised her to talk to him casually since they were now colleagues. As she was about to leave, Yi stopped her, draped his coat over her shoulders, and told her to take care of her voice as it was cold outside. Fang Yan thanked him again and left. After returning home, she celebrated the incident with her friends. However, Meng, who was watching her antics, arrived and placed a hand on her shoulder, and this scared her so much that she accidentally blasted a party popper in his face. Meng told her that she had violated the rule, and so she needs to pay him $500 by tomorrow. She won't be able to pay him till tomorrow. He will double the fine. Fang Yan got scared because she didn't have money. So she decided to earn money through live streaming. She went to the bathroom, thinking her voice would not escape from there, set up her mobile and started streaming. After a while, Meng arrived and asked what she was doing. Fang Yan denied doing anything, prompting Meng to shout and order her to leave. She hurriedly ran out but forgot her phone inside, leaving the live stream on and people saw the beautiful body of a man. When she remembered this, she panicked and feared that Meng would kill her if he knew about it. Nervously, she sneaked back into the bathroom to retrieve her phone. Just as she was about to grab it, a shampoo bottle fell, alerting Meng. He covered himself immediately and yelled at her angrily, asking what she was doing. Fang Yan admitted that her phone was live streaming. Meng again shouted at her to get out of the washroom. Fang Yan closed her eyes and left the washroom in panic. The next day, Meng instructed Ying Jun to suspend Fang Yan's account and delete the previous day's video. He also ordered Ying Jun to evict her from the house. Ying Jun explained that doing so would anger Madame Ling. Ying Jun then suggested scaring Fang Yan into leaving on her own. Meng liked the idea and executed it that night. While Fang Yan was talking to Zhu Yao, she heard strange noises. When she went to check, the lights turned off and she was scared. She knocked on Meng's room, calling out to him, but there was no response. Unknown to her, Meng was watching and laughing. Fang Yan tried calling Meng and she followed the ringtone and found Meng's phone near a creepy doll, which shocked her deeply. And she had slipped into sleep mode and started sleepwalking. Seeing her collapse, Meng panicked, threw her over his shoulder like a fireman rescuing a damsel in distress, and rushed her to the sofa while dialing the hospital. His mind raced, fearing she might have just passed out for good. Desperately, he explained the situation to the doctor. The doctor, probably trying to stay calm in the face of such chaos, told Meng to breathe, relax, and loosen her clothes so she could breathe better. Meng clumsily followed the advice, but before cutting her clothes, he draped Yi's coat over her like a makeshift blanket, unsure of what to do next. Just as he was about to deliver CPR, Fang Yan's eyes flew open, and Meng nearly jumped out of his skin. He staggered back, horrified, As Fang Yan sat, Meng quickly covered her with the coat. When she noticed her clothes had been cut, she let out a shriek that would have made even a ghost think twice. She grabbed the coat like it was her lifeline. Meanwhile, the doctor on the other end of the line, still unsure whether to send a search party, kept asking if the patient was all right, and why no one was answering. Fang Yan picked up the phone and reassured the doctor that everything was fine. After hanging up, she turned her glare back on Meng, who was still frozen in shock. After a few moments of awkward silence, Fang Yan began wondering how she had regained consciousness. Then it clicked. She remembered waking up wearing Yi's coat, the one that smelled like him. The doctor had mentioned that such scents or personal belongings could help her snap out of her sleep-induced daze, and it seemed like Yi's cologne was her magic potion. Excited, Fang Yan began searching for Yi's coat but remembered she had put it in the washing machine, and she became upset. Later, Fang Yan shared the incident with Zhu Yao. She suggested that, if Meng was responsible for the situation, he should compensate her by giving her something personal of Yi's, preferably related to clothing. Fang Yan agreed, and when Meng heard about her sleepwalking situation, he felt guilty and apologized. He also waived her fine of $500, which made Fang Yan extremely happy. She asked if she could make another request, and Meng agreed. Fang Yan then asked for something personal of Yi's, specifically clothing with his scent. Meng immediately refused, saying it was impossible. The next day, Fang Yan came with Kim to meet Yi. Kim explained about last night's situation and told him that his coat had helped Fang Yan, but she said that she had accidentally washed Yi's coat and asked Yi to give her something personal of his that he had used. Hearing this, Yi asked her to follow him and opened his large wardrobe, offering her to take anything she liked. Fang Yan was astonished by the expensive items in the wardrobe. Yi picked out his favorite shirt for her, but she hesitated, saying she couldn't take something so valuable. Yi assured her she could choose anything, but upon her insistence, he took her to another place and gave her an old harmonica. He explained that it was his first musical instrument. Fang Yan initially refused, but Yi, now growing fond of her innocent demeanor, insisted on her. She happily accepted the harmonica. Later at the cafe, Fang Yan was celebrating the gift that she had got from Yi. She then received a voice message from her director praising her voice but suggesting that she make it sound more innocent to better fit her character. Fang Yan agreed and wondered how to make her voice more innocent. Wei Lin assured her that he will take care of this situation. At home, Meng overheard some voices as he passed by Fang Yan's room. He stopped to listen and heard her saying, "You're so adorable that I want to kiss you." Suspicious, he angrily confronted Fang Yan, demanding to know who was with her inside. Fang Yan quickly came out and denied anyone was inside and offered to warm his food. Meng insisted she was hiding someone and barged into her room. To his surprise, a duck emerged from inside. Meng was shocked to see this creature, and they both tried to catch the duck together but struggled as it kept running in different directions. After several failed attempts, they finally managed to catch the duck. Meng later asked Fang Yan about the duck, to which she explained that her director had assigned her a role where she had to give a voice acting as a duck. Hearing this, Meng got frustrated and threw both Fang Yan and the duck out of the house. Sitting outside, Fang Yan began calling Meng and pleading with him to let her back inside, as she was feeling scared of being alone in the dark. Suddenly, the lights went out and Fang Yan became even more frightened. Meng realized the lights had gone out and started worrying about Fang Yan. He feared that she might start sleepwalking again due to her fear of the dark. Concerned, he opened the door and told her to come back inside along with the duck. Fang Yan quickly entered the house. Now Fang Yan cut an apple into a duck shape and brought it to Meng as a token of thanks for letting her and the duck back in. Meng, however, waved his hand in the air like a seasoned negotiator, telling her not to get too excited. "The duck stays for tonight, and that's it. By morning, it's out of here," he declared. Just as he was about to close the door, Fang Yan, with a look of deep sincerity, began singing Meng's praises. "You're so kind-hearted." And she even returned the little duck from the key ring. Then, with all the drama of a soap opera character, she pleaded with him to consider the real duck's plight and let it stay a little longer in the house. Touched by her impassioned speech, Meng hesitated, briefly considering the duck's welfare. In the end, he caved in, took the tiny keychain duck back, and allowed the real one to stay. Fang Yan beamed with delight, her gratitude practically radiating off her. "Thank you," she said with all the sincerity of someone who had just been granted a wish by a genie. At Eng's eyes, harmonica in her hand. "Where did you get that?" he asked. Fang Yan's face lit up even more as she replied, "You gave it to me." Hearing Yi's name from her made Meng angry, and he opened a locked room filled with his childhood belongings. He placed the duck toy on a wooden rack that his father had built with his own hands. Sitting in that room, Meng started missing his father deeply. But suddenly he heard Fan Yan shouting again. She was trying to coax the duck to come down from the top of the shower. Seeing this, Meng got furious and yelled at Fan Yan, warning her that if she didn't get the duck down immediately, he would impose double the fine on her. Scared by Meng's anger, Fan Yan tried harder to get the duck down but failed. As Meng watched, she climbed onto something to try and grab the duck. However, in the process, she nearly fell. Meng quickly rushed to her, caught her from behind, and saved her from falling. Meng then told her to move aside, saying that he would handle it himself. Just as he attempted to get the duck down. Just then, as the duck jumped out of the shower, Meng accidentally kissed Fan Yan. This leaves both of them in shock. Fan Yan, extremely embarrassed, quickly ran to her room and started feeling uncomfortable, thinking about the kiss, as it was her first kiss. Meanwhile, Meng also started recalling memories related to Fan Yan and wondered if he might be developing feelings for her. But then, he remembered how Fan Yan always talked about Yi, and he concluded that it's not possible because she liked Yi. He convinced himself that this was just an accident and left the room. Next day, Fan Yan noticed that her duck had dirtied Yi's harmonica, which upset her. When Meng saw this, he started laughing and he remarked how amazing the duck was for causing such trouble. Fan Yan started suspecting Meng, thinking that he must have placed the harmonica near the duck. Meng, however, denied it, saying he doesn't have time for such pranks. Fan Yan began regretting giving Yi's harmonica to the duck, as it must have held many precious memories and emotions of Yi. Upon hearing Yi's name again from Fan Yan, Meng became angry and left. When Meng returned to the office, Yin Jun nervously informed him that Lu had returned and was waiting for him in the meeting room. Just then, the director of the movie also came to his room. He explained that Lu had made significant changes to Meng's project, including adding an advertisement at the beginning. Meng calmly told the director not to worry and assured him that he would handle the situation with Lu. Meng then met with Lu, who explained that he had returned because otherwise Meng would have spent even more money on this project. Meng responded that investing money was necessary to make a good movie. However, Lu insisted that getting sponsorship from advertisers would benefit the project, while Meng argued against it, explaining that it could ruin the movie's impression on the audience. He also added that the director didn't want advertisements in the film's intro. Lu is now irritated, threatened that the director would be fired if he didn't comply. Although Meng was angry, he kept his calm. Meanwhile, Fan Yan was with Yi, who played her a drama song he had composed and asked for her opinion. Fan Yan got genuinely impressed, and she praised the song, which made Yi very happy. He then asked her to stay while he went to do something. As Yi left, Fan Yan began to worry about how to tell him that his duck had ruined his harmonica. She feared that Yi might be upset and would never give her anything personal again if he found out. Later, when Fan Yan was about to leave for home, Yi brought her a scarf and wrapped it around her. He said, "It's okay if your duck ruined my harmonica." Fan Yan was overjoyed and thanked Yi, promising, "I'll make sure nothing happens to this scarf." Yi couldn't help but laugh at her earnestness. Meanwhile, Meng arrived at the director's office only to find the director absent. Meng calls Yin Jun to ask about the director, but Yin Jun knows nothing either. While Fan Yan was talking to Yi when her friend Wei Lin called to inform her that the movie director had left the company and disappeared, causing chaos for everyone. Fan Yan was shocked to hear this. After this, Meng searched for the director at all the places he used to frequent, but the director was nowhere to be found. Exhausted, Meng returned home and collapsed on the bed. When Fan Yan arrived home and saw Meng distressed, she became worried too. After some time, Meng again heard loud noises from outside, and when he came outside and asked what she was doing now, Fan Yan then revealed that she had been playing an online game with the director. Meng was astonished upon hearing this and asked Fan Yan to distract the director through the game. Fan Yan followed his advice, complimenting the director, and she talked to him for some time using a fake name and started flirting with him. When Meng saw this, he thought this girl doesn't know when to stop. During their conversation, Fan Yan confessed that she had struggled with her sleepwalking disorder and always felt lonely, and everyone left her when they came to know about her condition. When Meng heard this, he felt sorry for her, as he had already witnessed her in that state 3 times. The director then admitted to feeling lonely himself. Trusting Fan Yan after their conversation, the director revealed his location, saying he was at the railway station. Upon learning this, Fang Yan and Meng immediately left for the station. However, on their way the road was blocked, and they had to get out of the car. In her rush, Fang Yan twisted her ankle and couldn't walk. She told Meng to leave her behind, but Meng refused and carried her on his back. As they walked, Meng asked if what she told the director was true. Did she really feel lonely? Fang Yan admitted that she did, but said she had gotten used to it over time. Noticing that Meng's ears had turned red from the cold, she took off the scarf Yi had given her and wrapped it around Meng, reassuring him, now everything's okay. Just then, they saw a taxi approaching, so they flagged it down and headed to the station. At the station, they searched everywhere for the director until Fang finally spotted him. She pointed him out to Meng, and they approached him. The director was shocked to see them and asked how they had found him. Fang Yan explained that it was thanks to the online game and revealed that she was his online friend. The director chuckled and called them clever. Meng took the director and they were drinking heavily. Meng persuaded the director not to quit the movie, explaining that it wouldn't feel right working without him since they had made so many hit movies together. Meng assured him that he would handle Uncle Luo, who had spoken rudely to the director. Hearing this, the director, now visibly relieved, agreed to keep working on the movie. Watching them, Fang Yan couldn't help but think to herself that Meng wasn't as arrogant and cold as she'd originally believed. In fact, he seemed like a genuinely good person who cared about keeping everyone in the loop and working together. As they walked back, the director and Meng were clearly tipsy, stumbling around like two old friends at a karaoke bar. When Fang Yan sneezed from the cold, Meng, without missing a beat, pulled her close and wrapped her up in his scarf like he was protecting a prized possession. His sudden closeness caught her off guard, and she froze, wide-eyed, as he looked at her with a tenderness that was almost too much to handle. Fang Yan, still processing the unexpected gesture, was left staring at him, trying to figure out if she'd imagined the whole thing. Later at home, when Fang Yan brought some honey water for the director, he raised an eyebrow and teased, "Why haven't you gone home yet? Don't tell me you both live together." Before she could even respond, Meng cut her off with a casual, "Yes, we live together." The director burst out laughing, jokingly accusing Meng of hiding a woman in his house, then promptly collapsed on the sofa, his sleepiness winning over any further questions. It seemed like the director had already made himself at home. Meng also fell asleep on the sofa after the director passed out. Fang Yan covered the director with a blanket and attempted to move Meng to his room. However, Meng ended up falling asleep in her lap. Fang Yan tried multiple times to move him but failed, so she sat there, looking at him. While watching Meng, she began to recall all the times he had scolded her. After reflecting on those moments, she moved closer to Meng, touched his face and jokingly muttered, "Go ahead, bully me now." She playfully teased Meng for a while, and then started remembering happier moments they had shared, like their kiss and the time Meng carried her on his back. Thinking about these memories made Fang Yan smile, but then she grew serious and stared at Meng for a long time. Later, in her room, she asked herself, "What's wrong with me?" Now Yi is also missing Fang Yan, so he posted a photo of the scarf he had given her on social media. When the notification popped up on Meng's phone, he checked it and immediately recognized the scarf that Fang Yan was wearing earlier. Realizing that Yi had gifted it to her, Meng grew angry once again. The next morning, Meng took Fang Yan's duck for a walk, and the director made fun of him as he had never seen Meng like this. Fang Yan was cleaning the home and she noticed that the door to Meng's secret room was open. Curious, she stepped inside and saw that it was filled with old items. She decided to clean the room but accidentally bumped into the handmade shelf by Meng's father and caused it to fall. Seeing the broken shelf, Fang Yan wondered why it had been left there in such a state. She decided to replace it with a new one. Thinking it might make Meng happy, she lifted the shelf and carried it outside. Shortly afterward, Meng returned home with the duck. Fang Yan asked him where the director was, to which Meng replied that he had told the director about her bad cooking, so he had gone back to his own house. Hearing this, Fang Yan pouted and said, "But I made all this food with so much love." Meng sat down at the table as Fang Yan served him lunch. While they ate, Fang Yan casually mentioned that she planned to take the duck to Yi's studio, as Yi wanted to see the duck. Meng immediately refused, saying, "Our duck is not going to meet Yi." When Fang Yan asked why, Meng replied, "Because she's not feeling well and needs to rest at home." As he got up to leave, Fang Yan asked, "Aren't you going to finish your lunch?" Meng bluntly replied, "No, because it tastes terrible," and walked away. This comment made Fang Yan furious. Meng noticed that the door to his secret room was open and went inside. When he realized that the wooden shelf his father had made was missing, he shouted Feng Yan into the room and angrily asked her where the shelf was. Feng Yan nervously explained that it was old and almost broken, so she had moved it to replace it with a new one. Meng shouted loudly and asked Feng Yan where the shelf was. In response, Feng Yan nervously informed him that it was placed outside near the trash. Upon hearing this, Meng hurried outside to search for the shelf, but he couldn't find it anywhere. Frustrated, he dialed the number written on the dustbin and called the management office. After providing his address, he inquired whether they had taken an old shelf along with the trash. The management confirmed that they had, and Meng requested them to return the shelf, explaining that it had been placed outside by mistake. The management agreed to return the shelf, and Feng Yan, who was watching from a distance, seemed concerned. Just then, Meng received a call from his mother, and he hurried off. On the other side, Meng's father's funeral was being held. Some women at the funeral discussed how Meng's father had been missing for several years, but now the family was holding a funeral to officially declare him dead. Lu approached Yi and suggested that the two brothers should end their dispute. Yi responded that their mother would be very happy if that happened. Just then, Meng arrived at the funeral. Seeing him, Yi asked Meng to wear a white flower as a sign of mourning, but Meng ignored him and went straight to their mother and questioned why they were holding a funeral when their father wasn't confirmed dead. Yi quickly tried to calm Meng down to avoid making a scene in front of the guests, but Meng angrily asked why the funeral was arranged, if it could cause such a scene. Their mother intervened, explained that she was the one who had organized the funeral because she believed their father was no longer in this world. However, Meng refused to accept it and shouted that he didn't believe his father was dead, as there was no proof of his death. He questioned why no one seemed to understand this. Everyone at the funeral stared at Meng in shock, and Yi, in anger, punched him. Meng retaliated and the two brothers started fighting. They only stopped when their mother yelled at them. Meanwhile, Feng Yan rushed to her company for a meeting and asked if she was late. Zhu Yao informed Feng Yan that the meeting hadn't started yet because the female lead, Lin, hadn't arrived yet. Hearing this, Feng Yan entered the meeting room. Feng Yan's senior colleague also came to the studio, and she was now seen talking to Lin's assistant, requesting a role for herself. The assistant, however, told her that the voice artist role had already been given to another girl. Hearing this, the senior girl said it was fine, but she had an idea. She then whispered something to the assistant. Later, Feng Yan went to the washroom, where the same assistant stopped her, and she pretended to have severe stomach pain. The assistant asked Feng Yan to bring her purse from the prop room and said she couldn't walk. Our kin girl went to the prop room to retrieve the purse. However, she got terrified upon seeing a skeleton inside. Despite being scared, Feng Yan gathered her courage and moved forward, but suddenly, the lights went off. Panicking, Feng Yan tried to run away, but the senior girl appeared out of nowhere and scared her badly. The senior girl knew about Feng Yan's sleepwalking disorder and intentionally triggered it. As a result, Feng Yan went into a sleepwalking state due to the shock, leaving everyone in the meeting room shocked. Zhu Yao tried to wake her up repeatedly but failed. Concerned, Zhu Yao called Yi and asked him to come immediately, as she explained that Feng Yan had gone into sleepwalking again, and that even his scarf wasn't helping to wake her up. Yi was surprised and worried to hear this. At that moment, Meng also arrived at the studio, and upon seeing Feng Yan in that condition, asked if she was okay. Zhu Yao then explained to him that Feng Yan had gone into sleepwalking again. Meng quickly peered up and started taking her to his office. Meanwhile, Yi was driving at full speed to reach Feng Yan. As Meng carried her, Feng Yan felt secure in his arms and fell into a deep sleep. When they reached the office, Meng was about to call a doctor when Yi arrived there. Surprised to see his brother, Meng asked, "What are you doing here?" Yi replied, "Feng Yan needs me, so let me take care of her." He then hugged Feng Yan and sat down, leaving Meng shocked. Seeing Meng's confusion, Zhu Yao started explaining everything to him. Meanwhile, Feng Yan hadn't regained consciousness yet. To wake her up, Yi gently kissed her forehead, which made Meng extremely jealous. Before he could say anything, Feng Yan opened her eyes and looked directly at Meng. However, Meng was still jealous and hurt by what he saw, so turned his face away. Later, Yi tried to calm Meng down, saying, "We shouldn't fight in front of Mom." Meng agreed, and then Yi asked him, "By the way, you seemed really worried about Feng Yan today. Do you like her?" Meng denied it, saying, "She's just my roommate." Hearing this, Yi teased him and said, I'm sure Fang Yan must have done that to get my attention. Silly girl. This made Meng curious and he asked, "Wait, are you and Fang Yan a couple?" Yi confidently replied, "We're about to become one soon because she's very important to me." Hearing this, Meng became visibly angry. After that, Yi left and went to Fang Yan, asking her, "Would you like to go out with me?" Fang Yan agreed, but Meng, seeing all this, became more upset and stormed out. Yi took Fang Yan to his private karaoke room and said, "Whenever I'm feeling down, I come here. But this is the first time I've brought someone along." Fang Yan felt happy to hear that. She then noticed a bruise on Yi's face and asked him about it, but Yi brushed it off, saying, "Let's do some singing instead." Fang Yan, excited by the idea, started singing loudly and enjoying herself. Yi laughed while watching her sing in a funny way, and he eventually joined her. He also sang a sad song for Fang Yan, which she listened to very attentively. Meanwhile, Meng was sitting alone, thinking about everything that had happened that day. The memories of Yi and Fang Yan together made him feel deeply upset and heartbroken. Yi and Fang Yan were returning home after having a great time. On the way, Fang Yan asked Yi if the song he sang earlier had a story behind it. Yi told her that it was about two brothers who loved each other deeply, but one day the younger brother got lost. Their father went to look for him but never returned. Since then, both brothers have blamed each other. The older brother believed that if their father hadn't gone to search for the younger one, he wouldn't have disappeared, while the younger brother thought that if the older one hadn't left him alone, none of this would have happened. Because of this, both brothers grew apart and began to hate each other. Listening to this, Fang Yan realized that Yi was talking about himself and Meng. Just then, a bicycle came from the opposite direction, and Yi pulled Fang Yan aside to avoid it. Afterward, he asked her why she was living at Meng's house. Fang Yan replied that it was a long story, but she would be moving out soon. Hearing this, Yi asked for her phone. When she handed it over, Yi saved his number in her phone. He told her to call him when she left Meng's house, assuring her that he would come to pick her up anytime. Fang Yan was surprised by his words. Yi then mentioned that he was recording a song and would need her help with it. Hearing this, Fang Yan agrees to meet him and leaves, while Yi stands there helplessly, watching his love walk away. When Fang Yan gets home, she finds Meng sprawled out on the sofa, drunk as a skunk. She drags him to his room, but just as she's about to leave, Meng wakes up and demands a glass of water. Fang Yan brings him water, only to find Meng behaving like he's auditioning for a lunatic role, as he's hiding inside the cupboard. Fang Yan tells him to come out, and Meng, in his drunken glory, steps out and starts reciting a random, useless poem. To make it worse, he starts patting Fang Yan's face with face powder, as if she's a canvas for his art. And before she can recover from the powder attack, he kisses her forehead like some romantic hero from a cheesy drama. Fang Yan, understandably done with his antics, pushes him away. The next morning, Meng wakes up with no memory of his shenanigans. He even mocks Fang Yan's forehead, asking who on earth would behave like that. Fang Yan, fuming with rage, starts reciting the same stupid poem from the night before. That's when the light bulb goes off in Meng's head, and the memories of last night come rushing back. Embarrassed, he tries to sneak away, but is distracted by his dad's shelf. Fang Yan tells him she brought it from waste management. Clearly intrigued, asks, "Why do you care about me so much?" To which Fang Yan replies, "Because I have a big heart," before walking away like a queen. Meng watches her go with a look that says, "I'm smitten." Later that night, an advertiser throws a big party for all the actors, and Lin tells Fang Yan to join him. Fang Yan, thrilled, agrees without hesitation. At the party, Fang Yan and Lin are happily munching on the delicious buffet when suddenly, Mia makes her grand appearance. Her assistant whispers to her that Fang Yan is the one who is doing voiceover for the movie. The actress immediately recognizes Fang Yan as the girl from the elevator incident with Meng. Deciding it's time for some petty revenge, she hatches a plan. Meanwhile, Lin excuses himself, claiming he's eaten too much and needs to visit the restroom. The advertiser, trying to impress everyone, presents a swan shape to the actress and asks her to take photos with it. The actress, full of drama, insists on taking a photo with Muyawai's voice artist Fang Yan. Reluctantly, Fang Yan steps forward. While the cameras flash, the actress, acting like a Bond villain, slyly tosses the swan into the water. Naturally, she blames Fang Yan for the entire mess. Hearing this, Fang Yan gets terrified, especially when the girls standing nearby start bad-mouthing her. They say the swan was a special gift from the advertiser to the actress, and if the advertiser gets upset, he might break his contract with Meng. Fang Yan, feeling the pressure, dives into the water to search for the swan. She knows how hard Meng has worked on this project and doesn't want her blunder to ruin it. After what feels like a treasure hunt, she finally finds the swan. Just as she's about to emerge victoriously, Meng shows up. Before she can celebrate, Fang Yan slips and falls back into the pool. Meng storms over, furious, fishes her out of the water, and snatches the swan from her hands only to chuck it far away like it's cursed. He then picks Fang Yan up in his arms, leaving everyone shocked and speechless. The advertiser, dumbfounded, demands, "Why did you throw my swan?" But Meng, in true dramatic hero style, doesn't even bother replying. Instead, he wraps Fang Yan in his coat and notices a small scratch on her hand. The advertiser, now livid, yells, "How dare you ignore me? Do you want me to cancel our contract?" To this, Meng coolly replies, "I didn't come here to beg for a contract. I don't want any ads in my movie." With that, he walks out with Fang Yan, leaving behind a trail of dropped jaws. After that, Meng takes Fang Yan to the doctor, who assures him she's perfectly fine and nothing happened to her. But Meng, still fuming, snaps, "How can she be fine? She was in the water for a full 5 minutes. Give her some medicine now." He points out the tiny scratch on Fang Yan's hand, which the doctor dismisses as a minor scrape, suggesting only a bandage. Back at home, Meng wraps her hand with so much gauze it looks like she's preparing for battle. Fang Yan stares at her over-bandaged hand and says, "It's just a scratch. Why did you wrap it up like this?" Meng retorts, "So it doesn't get infected. And don't you dare remove it without my permission." Fang Yan looks at him, baffled and slightly touched, wondering when Meng became her overly dramatic personal bodyguard. The next day, Fang Yan arrives at the address Yi gave her, which turns out to be a traditional restaurant. Yi serves her a bowl of soup, proudly telling her, "I found out about last night." Fang Yan, smiling, eagerly starts drinking it, complimenting, "This is really tasty." Meanwhile, on the other side, Meng is also busy trying to make soup for Fang Yan. The only problem, he has absolutely no clue how to cook. So, he resorts to asking his mom for the soup recipe. After putting in a lot of effort, he finally makes a decent soup. Standing there with a proud grin, he thinks soup is ready. But why hasn't Fang Yan come home yet? Later, Yi drives Fang Yan back to her place and asks, "Fang Yan, what type of guy do you like?" Fang Yan said she never dated anyone, so she doesn't know what love is. She asked Yi, "Do you know what love really is?" While looking at her, Yi replies, "When we like someone, we want to see them happy all the time. We can't bear to see them in pain. We just want to smile with them and share our true feelings with them." As she listens, Fang Yan can't help but think, this feels exactly like what she experienced with Meng. Yi, noticing the bandages on Fang Yan's hand, asks about them. Fang Yan told him that it was nothing and Meng was just overreacting. Yi then starts unwrapping the bandage, and at the very moment Fang Yan sees Meng outside. Meng didn't like this scene at all, so he decided to go back to the house, but immediately she thanked Yi and happily headed back to Meng. Yi watches them leave, visibly upset. Once back at Meng's place, Fang Yan notices the soup and says, "Hey, did you make this soup too?" Meng, a bit confused, asked, "So you had the same soup already? Fine, I'll throw it away." Fang Yan quickly interrupts, No, I only had a little bit. Please don't throw it away." Meng then pours himself a bowl and starts drinking, while Fang Yan also serves herself and takes a sip. "Wow, this really is tasty," she says, and Meng lights up with happiness. But then, after a moment of contemplation, he looks at her seriously and asks, "Fang Yan, do you have a boyfriend?" Fang Yan, caught completely off guard, is so shocked that she spits out the soup and surprised. Fang Yan had completely messed up the table. But after calming down a little, Meng tried to explain to her that she should stay away from his brother, Yai, as he wasn't a good person. He told her that Yai dated different girls all the time. Upon hearing this, Fang Yan remarked that she wasn't aware that Yi had so much experience in love. She added that, in that case, he could also help improve her acting skills since the director had told her that she wasn't able to deliver love scene dialogues with the right emotions. After hearing her response, Meng quickly finished his soup angrily and left. After dinner, Fang Yan went to the washroom to wash her hair. She was about to remove the bandage from her hand when Meng stopped her, warning that if she did so, he would fine her. Fang tried to wash her hair, but she couldn't, so Meng closed the tap, and then he carefully washed her hair. Fang Yan quietly observed him, and she was feeling happy inside. Later, Meng dried her hair and Fang Yan sat frozen in her seat, feeling awkward in that situation since everything felt new to her. Meng then offered to help her with practice so that she wouldn't need to go to Yi. Fang Yan questioned how he could help since he was a producer, not an actor. In response, Meng said he wasn't any less than his brother and was capable of doing everything well. He told her that in his movie she had been given the role of a very innocent character, which required her to have a heart full of love. However, he joked that her mind only seemed to be filled with thoughts of food. Hearing this, Fang Yan angrily started practicing some love confession dialogues for the movie. During the practice, she came very close to Meng and delivered all the lines but got stuck at the end. Meng then stepped closer to her and asked if she liked him. Fang Yan, looking serious, replied yes, and this surprised Meng. But then she laughed and clarified that it was just a dialogue from the script. She complimented Meng on his acting skills. Meng was so shy that he covered her face with a towel and walked away. The next day, Fang Yan told her friends that after practicing love confession dialogues with Meng, she was able to deliver them perfectly in front of the director, who even praised her performance. Hearing this, Wei Lin teased her by asking if she and Meng had started liking each other. Zhu Yao dismissed the idea and told him to stop talking nonsense. She then left to attend a call. After she left, Wei Lin told Fang Yan to take his words seriously and reminded her that Meng had rescued Fang Yan from the pool in front of everyone, and even argued with the advertiser for her sake. Wei Lin hinted that Meng might actually like Fang Yan, which made her thoughtful. Now she wanted to confirm whether Meng liked her or not, so she nervously asked him if he would like to watch a movie with her. However, Meng, busy with work, declined the invitation. Hearing this, Fang Yan felt heartbroken and threw the movie tickets into the dustbin, saying that Meng didn't like her at all. Later that evening, while cleaning her shop, Fang Yan received a message from Meng stating that he was free for some time in the evening and could come to watch the movie. Overjoyed, Fang Yan rushed to the cinema hall and she was very excited about the plan. While waiting, she texted and gave so many calls to Meng, but he didn't respond to any of those because he was still busy in the meeting. Fang Yan thought that he would come later. And then she received a message from her friend Zhu Yao, asking where she was. Fang Yan informed her that she was at the cinema to watch a movie called This Sunshine, and then went inside the theater. When Zhu Yao checked the name of the movie, she was shocked to discover that it was a horror film. Worried, Zhu Yao called Fang Yan multiple times to warn her, but due to poor signal inside the theater, Fang Yan couldn't receive the calls. Unable to go to Fang Yan herself due to an urgent task, Zhu Yao immediately called Yi and explained the situation. She asked him to go to the city cinema hall to check on Fang Yan, fearing that she might be too scared to handle the horror movie alone. After finishing his meeting, Meng checked his phone and saw multiple missed calls and messages from Fang Yan. When he read them, he was surprised to learn that she had bought tickets for This Sunshine, a horror movie. Shocked, he wondered also how someone as timid as Fang Yan could buy tickets for a horror film. Meanwhile, Yi had already reached the cinema hall and was anxiously looking for Fang Yan everywhere, but couldn't find her. Meng also arrived at the cinema, searching for Fang Yan, but she wasn't visible to him either. Just then, Yi spotted Fang Yan standing in a corner. He rushed toward her and hugged her tightly in relief. Meng, watching this scene from a distance, felt deeply hurt. Fang Yan, who had regained her composure, told Yi to let go, saying that he was hugging her too tightly. Yi stepped back and asked if she was all right. Fang Yan reassured him that she was fine, and then asked why he was there. He explained that Zhu Yao had sent him after realizing that Fang Yan had mistakenly gone to watch a horror film. He said he was worried that Fang Yan might get so scared that she would end up sleepwalking, so he came to ensure she was safe. Fang Yan admitted to Yi that she had indeed gone to watch a horror movie by mistake. She shared that when a horror scene appeared, she closed her eyes tightly, and that was the only reason she didn't end up sleepwalking. Hearing this, Yi calmed down Meng, who had overheard their conversation from a distance. He felt very upset and left, thinking that Fang Yan liked Yi a lot and that Yi also cared deeply for her. Yi then offered to drop Fang Yan home, and she agreed. After reaching her house, before stepping out of the car, Fang Yan asked Yi a serious question. She asked, "What should someone do if they really like a person, but that person doesn't like them back?" Yi responded that, in such a situation, they should stop chasing that person and choose someone who genuinely cares for them. Hearing this, Fang Yan started thinking deeply. She then said goodbye to Yi and got out of the car. As she was walking away, Yi called out to her, saying, "If you ever want to watch a movie again, let me know, and we'll go together." Hearing this, Fang Yan smiled and left happily. Later, when Fang Yan entered her house, she saw Meng having dinner. Surprised, she asked, "Oh, you're back already?" Meng replied, "Yes, but sorry, I couldn't come to watch the movie. That's why I ordered food from outside." Fang Yan smiled and said, "It's okay. You must have been busy with your meeting." She then shared, "By the way, the movie I watched today was really good. It was about a wife who loved her husband a lot." Meng, curious, asked, "What do you think? Did the husband deserve that love?" Fang Yan replied, "Yes, he did, but I'm not sure about your opinions. What do you think about love?" Meng responded firmly, "First of all, I don't have time to think about love. It's all nonsense and a waste of time. I only focus on making my movies." Hearing this, Fang Yan quietly fell silent. Fang Yan informed Meng that 2 months were about to complete, and she wanted to discuss something important with him. Meng, thinking that Fang Yan wanted to move out, responded that he would help her find another house. After saying this, he got up and left, leaving Fang Yan feeling extremely sad because she wanted to stay. Later, Fang Yan called Zhu Yao to meet her. When Zhu Yao arrived, she asked if there was something important Fang Yan wanted to discuss. Fang Yan explained that she was seriously interested in someone and wanted to date him. Zhu Yao immediately realized that Fang Yan was talking about Meng. She told Fang Yan that she couldn't date him because Yi is the one who could help her overcome her illness. Zhu Yao advised her to think about how Yi would feel if he saw her with someone else. Fang Yan, feeling sad, started running, and Zhu Yao tried to stop her but couldn't. As she ran, Fang Yan reflected that Zhu Yao was right and decided that Yi was the person who made her feel secure and was her last hope for overcoming her illness. She realized she needed to forget about Meng because he didn't like her anyway. When Fang Yan returned home, she found Meng, who was waiting for her, but before she could say anything, he stood up and left, making her feel even more upset. Fang Yan then reminded herself that she only had 2 days left in the house and decided not to spend them being sad. The next day, the breakfast table was full of delicious food with a note that read, "Have a great day." Meng saw the note and smiled. Meanwhile, Zhu Yao brought a camping equipment box for her son. However, Zhang wasn't happy because all the other kids' dads were coming on the camping trip, except for him. He insisted that Zhu Yao bring Uncle Yingjun along, but she refused, making Zhang angry. He stormed off, leaving Zhu Yao feeling worried. Later, when Meng returned home, Fang Yan told him that the next day would be her last day in the house, and she wanted to spend the entire day with him. She asked if he could fulfill her wish. Meng thought about it and agreed, before leaving. Fang Yan was very excited and happy with his response. The next morning, when Meng was still asleep, Fang Yan called him to wake him up. She told him she was waiting downstairs and asked him to get ready quickly because he had promised to spend the day with her. Meng got ready and came outside to meet her. Fang Yan was waiting for Meng while standing, and then she took him to a park. Seeing this, Meng asked why they had come there. Fang Yan explained that when she was little, she used to come to this park with her parents often, and that made the place very special to her. However, her parents never allowed her to go skating because they were afraid she might faint from dizziness. She then said that today, for the first time, she wanted to fulfill that wish and go skating with him. Hearing this, Meng agreed to skate with Fang Yan. But when Fang Yan struggled to wear her skating shoes, Meng helped her put them on. Secretly, Fang Yan also clicked a photo with Meng. When Fang Yan stood up to skate, she couldn't balance at all and kept falling onto Meng. But then he helped her get up and started teaching her how to skate. Meanwhile, Zhu Yao was at the camping site with her son, Zhang. Zhang's friends came and told her that everyone else had set up their tents except for hers. They asked if she needed help from their dad, but sadly Zhang declined. Just then, an expensive car arrived, and none other than Yingjun stepped out of it, surprising everyone, including Zhu Yao. Zhu Yao asked Yingjun what he was doing there and who had invited him. Yingjun replied that he had come to help with Zhang's camping. Hearing this, Zhu Yao doesn't say a word to her son, choosing his happiness over everything. Meanwhile, the battle of the dads begins. Yingjun ends up playing a game against a huge, intimidating guy and, predictably, loses miserably. Watching this, Zhu Yao can't help but burst into laughter. After losing, Yingjun pours water on his bruises, and Zhang hands him a pain relief spray. Feeling guilty, Yingjun apologizes to Zhang for not winning the game. but Zhang surprises him by saying he's just happy someone stepped up to act like his dad. With that, Zhang leaves, clearly touched. After Zhang's departure, Zhu Yao asks Ying Jun why he risked himself when he already knew he would lose. Ying Jun simply replies that he just wanted to see the two of them happy, leaving Zhu Yao momentarily speechless. Meanwhile, Fang Yan had learned a bit of skating and was enjoying herself with Meng. Meng, too, found spending time with her incredibly satisfying. Later that night, Fang Yan surprises Meng with some soup she made herself. Meng is overjoyed by her effort and praises her warmly. Just as he's savoring the moment, Fang Yan announces they need to go somewhere, a surprise destination. But before Meng can ask, she suddenly plants a quick kiss on his cheek. Both of them freeze in shock. Meng out of disbelief, and Fang Yan, because she hadn't planned it at all. Flustered, she quickly blurts out, "Your mom told me to do it." Meng can't help but smile at her adorable silliness. Shaking off the awkwardness, the two get ready for the surprise trip. On the other hand, Ying Jun takes Zhang back home with him, where Zhu Yao thanks him for the day but also asks him not to come again. She explains that she doesn't want Song to have any expectations. Hearing this, Ying Jun becomes sad and responds that he wants to stay with both Zhu Yao and Zhang to give her son a better future. However, he questions why Zhu Yao is pushing him away. Zhu Yao replies that she loves Zhang's father and is waiting for his return, because she believes that one day he will definitely come back. Hearing this, Ying Jun's heart breaks deeply, and he says goodbye to Zhu Yao before leaving. Meanwhile, Fang Yan takes Meng to a special spot, and looking at the sky, remarks that there are no stars tonight. She says that if there were stars, their reflection in the lake would look beautiful. Hearing this, Meng starts laughing. Fang Yan then explains that her father proposed to her mother at the same spot, which is why the place is very special. She adds that wishes made here always come true and begins making a wish loudly. Watching her do this, Meng feels very happy. As Meng is about to leave, Fang Yan calls him from behind and wishes him a happy birthday with great enthusiasm. When Meng turns around, fireworks light up the entire area, creating a beautiful scene. Meng thanked her as he was touched by the gesture, as it is the first time someone has given him such a beautiful birthday surprise. He feels very happy. As they head back home, Fang Yan suddenly stops and she tells him that it has been 2 months since she started living at his house, and she doesn't want to trouble him anymore. She reveals that she has already packed her belongings and sent them to Zhu Yao's house. Hearing this, Meng is surprised, but Fang Yan says goodbye and starts leaving. Watching her go makes Meng feel very sad, and Fang Yan also starts crying as she reaches Zhu Yao's house and hugs her while sobbing uncontrollably. When Meng returns to his house, it feels empty to him because he had become used to Fang Yan's presence. He even wakes up suddenly in the morning, feeling as though Fang Yan is calling him. This realization makes him feel even sadder. On the other hand, Fang Yan is also struggling to distract herself. She starts counting people passing by to keep her mind occupied. Just then, Yi enters her shop for the first time and leaves Zhu Yao surprised. Yi signals her to stay quiet and approaches Fang Yan, asking why she is counting people and if she is feeling sad. Fang Yan is shocked to see him and asks how he is there. Why? I explained to Fang Yan that he had come to meet her, because she hadn't responded to his messages since the previous day, which made him feel as though he had made a mistake. He asked her to tell him what was bothering her. Hearing this, Fang Yan turned away and said she wanted to forget certain things from her past but couldn't. Yi then suggested that she should distract herself in the present to feel more relaxed. Fang Yan asked how she could do that, to which Yi replied that they should meet the next day, and he promised to send her an address before leaving. Meanwhile, Meng was at his office, and he was missing Fang Yan terribly. When Ying Jun asked him about his problem, Meng didn't respond to him, and he immediately left his office. The next day, Fang Yan arrived at the address sent by Yi. He called out to her and asked her to come closer, and told her that he had a good idea to cheer her up. When Fang Yan asked what it was, Yi handed her stinky tofu. Surprised, Fang Yan remarked that she didn't know someone as famous as him who liked stinky tofu. Yi laughed and said celebrities were also humans, and he often came there to eat this dish whenever he felt sad. Fang jokingly suggested he put on a mask to avoid being recognized, but by then few girls had already spotted him. As Fang Yan ate the tofu and offered some to Yi, a group of girls started shouting Yi's name, drawing more people to the spot. Wai had no choice but to grab Fang Yan's hand and run away. While running, Fang Yan yelled at him, saying he shouldn't have taken off the mask as their lives might now be in danger because of his fans. Yi then hid Fang Yan and himself in a secluded spot where the fans eventually passed by. Fang Yan asked Yi what they should do next. Yi, who had booked the entire restaurant in advance, played a romantic song for her on the piano, hoping to impress her. However, listening to the music reminded Fang Yan of Meng, making her sad again. Yi noticed her mood change and felt disheartened. On the other hand, Meng, who was still missing Fang Yan, started watching cartoons in which Fang Yan had lent her voice. Hearing her voice made him incredibly happy, and he kept replaying it. However, Meng soon came across news claiming that the superstar Yi was dating voice artist Fang Yan. This news ruined Meng's mood and made him very angry. After all this chaos, Yi returned home, where his assistant showed him the viral news of his photo with Fang Yan on social media. She informed him that people were gossiping, and his fans were upset. She suggested that he clarify everything publicly. Yi told her to calm down and not take the news too seriously, adding that it might help him lose some obsessive fans. He asked her to return to work, and she left. Once alone, Yi revealed that all of this was deliberate and was his way of getting closer to Fang Yan. He admitted he was even willing to lose his fans for her. Meanwhile, Meng, furious after seeing the news, drank heavily. When Ying Jun noticed this, he asked Meng why he had called him if he didn't want to talk. "I don't have time for this. I'm leaving now." When Meng asked where Ying Jun was going, he replied that he was returning to his wife and son. Meng mocked him, reminding him that he had been pursuing Zhu Yao for 2 months without any success. Ying Jun confidently replied that Zhu Yao would eventually understand his love one day. Meng, however, expressed doubt. Ying Jun then boasted about being an expert in matters of love, prompting Meng to challenge him to answer a question. He gave him a situation about a drama where a girl who liked a boy a lot suddenly left him. What the reason could be? Ying Jun then asked Meng if the girl had done anything special for the boy before leaving. Meng replied that she had wished him a very sweet happy birthday. Hearing this, Ying Jun laughed loudly and remarked that Meng must be talking about Fang Yan. Meng fell silent. Ying Jun suggested that perhaps Fang Yan had left because she thought Meng didn't like her. Meng argued that it's not possible because Fang Yan already liked Yi. Ying Jun explained that Fang Yan was just a fan of Yi, like many other girls, and that it didn't necessarily mean they liked each other. At home, Zhu Yao told Fang Yan that many people started following Meng's Injiang ID. Zhu Yao commented that Yi was doing everything to impress Fang Yan, and even followed her Injiang ID with his real account. Fang Yan speculated that Yi might be using her to distract his crazy fans and get rid of them. She then began looking at her phone. Hearing this, Zhu Yao remarked that Fang Yan was being very foolish. At the same time, Ying Jun became heavily drunk and Meng tried to take him home. However, Ying Jun questioned why Meng wouldn't confess his feelings to Fang Yan, asking if he was afraid of being insulted. Ying Jun pointed out his own struggles with not being able to win Zhu Yao's heart, which made him feel hopeless, but he emphasized that he never gave up and continued trying to impress her. Meng responded with a slight smile. When Ying Jun could no longer walk and fell down, Meng called Zhu Yao to inform her about Ying Jun's condition. Zhu Yao replied that she didn't care if Ying Jun lived or died and ended the call. Later, though, she began worrying about him. Ying Jun thanked Meng for calling Zhu Yao. Not long after, Zhu Yao arrived, and Ying Jun started acting dramatically, claiming he was about to die. This irritated Zhu Yao even more. Meng informed Zhu Yao that he would leave Ying Jun in her care and left. After Meng left, Ying Jun began vomiting, so Zhu Yao quickly helped him to the restroom. Meanwhile, when Meng stepped out of the bar, snow began to fall. Seeing the snowfall reminds Meng of Fang Yan and how much she loves it. Meanwhile, Fang Yan steps out of her house to enjoy the snowfall. At that moment, she receives a message on her phone. To her surprise, it is not from Meng, but from Yi. The message reads, "It's snowing outside, so take care of yourself. Don't stay out too long and catch a fever." Now at home, Meng is practicing his love confession to Fang Yan. He wonders how to express his feelings and what exactly to say to her. He's racking his brain, wondering how on earth he'll confess his feelings to Fang Yan. What if he messes it all up? As he overthinks every possible scenario, Meng's mind is on the verge of a meltdown. Meanwhile, Yi tells his assistant that he's bringing Fang Yan to the film ceremony the next day. True to his plan, he arrives at the event with Fang Yan, and Ying Jun, spying on them from afar, quickly calls Meng. Seeing Yi and Fang Yan together, Meng's irritation hits the roof. He snaps at Ying-jun to keep an eye on them and rushes to the venue himself. Ying-jun diligently keeps watch, and when he sees Fang Yan laughing with Yi, he gets all emotional, muttering, "Boss, hurry up, or your love story's doomed." When Meng comes and storms in, grabs Fang Yan's hand and starts dragging her away. Even Yi's attempts to stop him fail, and Meng stomps off with Fang Yan. After leaving Fang Yan outside, Meng comes and confronts Yi and demands to know why he's using Fang Yan for publicity. Yi fires back, saying he's not some businessman like Meng who exploits people. He even reminds Meng of how he once used Fang Yan's Injiang account to cast him in his movie. Hearing this, Meng is left speechless but still manages to warn Yi to stay away from Fang Yan. Determined, Meng returns to Fang Yan, ready to confess his feelings. But when the moment comes, his nerves betray him, and he ends up blurting nonsense like, "I ran out of cooking oil," or "My clothes aren't washed." Clearly, his big confession didn't quite go as planned. Hearing all this, Fang Yan tells Meng that if he doesn't have anything sensible to say, she's leaving. But before she can go, Meng blurts out that he needs a babysitter. Furious, Fang Yan storms off, while Ying-jun facepalms, muttering that his boss is the king of idiots. Ying-jun then scolds Meng, saying, "I doubt anyone in history has confessed their love in such a ridiculous way." On the other hand, Fang Yan vents to Wei Lin, complaining about how that arrogant rich guy called her a babysitter. Wei Lin, however, tries to reason with her, suggesting that Meng might have been trying to confess his feelings but got too nervous. Fang Yan doesn't buy it and dismisses his theory. Wei Lin quickly changes the topic, reminding her that they have to attend the ceremony. At the film ceremony, the camera is revealed, and the movie's inauguration takes place. During the photo session, Ying-jun sneakily places Fang Yan next to Meng, making them both visibly uncomfortable.